This is passage 4. It's a natural science passage called The Rise and Fall of the Living Fossils. So it looks like this. So you can see it says natural science. There's a natural science passage. Natural science is the far end of the reference category, which means you're going to have more refer to the passage type questions. It's going to be very organized type passage generally. Now, as such, you can use any of the strategies. If you have time, read and answer. That's the strategy that good, strong readers who have time to finish should utilize. Google Summary is something you should utilize if it helps you to remind you what you read, or if maybe you're trying to skim and read a little bit faster than you're really comfortable. And mapping and answering is either just answering the questions that have line references or just reading the first few lines of each paragraph, the intro lines, the transition lines. All three strategies will work on this passage. So when we look at this passage, you can see everything underlined says in context of the passage or according to the passage, and I circled all the line numbers. So there's 5 questions with direct line number references, and the rest of them when you know are in the passage. There's no inference in this particular passage. So let's get to the questions. Question number 31. In the context of the passage, we know it's the context of the passage, how does the analysis of crocodilian immune system molecules relate to the living fossil theory of crocodilian evolution? So we see that this mentioned at the end of the first paragraph. It says, if that were true, modern crocodilian species would be very different from one another. However, the immune system molecules conserved across living crocodilian species were remarkably similar in structure and behavior. We see again at the last concluding paragraph that it says it conclusively removed them from the category of living fossils. So what happens is the analysis does not support the living fossil theory, right? So the immune system, crocodilian immune system molecule analysis. So your answer has to be D. Number 32. Which the following statements best summarizes Oak's analysis of Nile crocodile's DNA in the third paragraph, lines 37 to 48. Okay, so let's just break down. It suggests that Nile crocodiles are older than were previously believed. And it says, no, they were much too young to be living fossils. So we know we can eliminate choice F. Choice G says it suggests that different species do not share a basal ancestor. Well, we know that they split from their last common ancestors. They do share a basal ancestor, so G's out. The scientific community ignored it. Well, this one's a little interesting. It says the study was intriguing, but not enough to convince the larger scientific community. It doesn't say they ignored it, it just didn't totally convince them, so H is out. So process of elimination, we got to J. This suggests that DNA came from 2 species. Well, that he was looking at 2 distinct species says in line 41, so the answer is J. That's not necessarily a hard question, but it is a difficult question when you are working quickly and perhaps short on time. 33. The main purpose of the 5th paragraph, lines 67 to 82. So what is this purpose? We can actually look at the topic sentence of the paragraph. We can also use the answers. Describe the DNA analysis that confirmed they were 2 distinct species. So it says this in the sentence before, could these tame crocodiles be an entire distinct species? We know this is about DNA analysis, and it says in line 74, they were very confident that they were actually 2 different populations and not mixing their DNA. So we can say A is correct. We could process and eliminate the others we wanted, but A is definitely the correct answer. Got that one pretty quickly. Number 34, as it is used in line 3, the word standard most nearly means. It says the standard theory held. So standard, would mean maybe the accepted theory, probably. Moderate, no. Normal, regulated, it has to be the accepted theory, the theory that everybody held to be true, the accepted theory, so F. Number 35, according to the passage, so it's in the passage, molecular analysis revealed that immune system molecules from living crocodilian species were similar in. So we know this is there, it's just a matter of finding where it is. And if you mapped it by only doing the topic sentences, it might be tricky to find. But we know, we talked about from question 1, the molecular analysis. So it says, molecular analysis revealed that immune system molecules conserved across living crocodilian species were remarkably similar in structure and behavior. And because we tackled this question in the same part of the passage in question 31, it might have been easier to find here, but it is directly in the passage. So A. 36, in the context of the passage, the statement in lines 53 to 55 says they were so docile that he and his companions could swim beside them without concern. So this is about the docile crocodiles. What does it serve to do? Does choice F say that they were diseased? No. They established the tameness of the crocodiles? Probably. I'm saying G is probably correct. Let's see, choice H, they were swimming with Crocodilius niloticus. Well, which one is that? So we have to look back and say, when she compared the docile croc's DNA to other crocodiles, she noticed other Nile crocodiles, she noticed a striking difference, and we see those other Nile crocodiles described as Crocodilia noctilis. Those are the ones that are not the tame crocodiles. They're not swimming with the tame ones. So H. That's a little trickier to eliminate. Indicate the crocodiles in the desert oasis had not yet fully matured. No evidence of that. So G is the easy correct answer. H is a little tricky to eliminate if you got that far because you got to find it, but it should be pretty clear that G is correct. 37. According to the passage, after Clemens sent a tissue sample of the perished crocodile to Hakila, then, so where do we find that? Okay, so what happens? So we find that around line 55. He took a tissue sample, and it says the assistant professor sequenced its genome. So choice C, directly from the passage. That's when it says according to the passage, it's going to be there. The context of the passage, the detail that Crocodilius niloticus and Crocodilius sucus, I'm probably pronouncing those terribly, have different numbers of chromosomes, provide support for the claim that the two species, okay, so where do we find that? Here, they had a different number of chromosomes. Now, what does that tell us? It tells us they were not mixing their DNA. Choice J, it's in the passage. If you have unlimited time, I would expect you to be able to get all of these. But with limited time, they can become tricky to find. 39, according to the passage, Crocodilius niloticus and Crocodilius sucus diverged between. So we've got to find the date. You might can skim the passage, scan the passage, and look for numbers. And we can see that right here, 3 to 6 million years ago. So you're just looking for numbers, might find that pretty easily. So the answer is B. Number 40, based on the passage, the phrase redraw the map in line 84 is that, so it says they redraw the map of how crocodilians evolved in space and time and conclusively have removed them from the category of living fossils. So is that literal or figurative? They're not literally redrawing a map. So we're going to eliminate choice F and G and say it's figurative because it's just talking about the natural history of crocodiles. So it has to be choice H. Reach out if you have any questions at all. Since this passage is about crocodiles, instead of a fun joke, I'll leave you with a fun fact. The Florida Everglades is the only place in the world where you can find alligators and crocodiles side by side. Kind of an interesting fact. All right, y'all have a good day.